What's going on, guys? So for this week, I continued working on my spell system, more specifically the Skillbook UI. So before I had it, where you could every main tab was shown and every sub tab was shown. But what I did this time was learn maybe like 7 or 8 different skills, and then adjusted it so it only shows the main tabs and sub tabs with actual skills learned from those tabs. So for example, there's no crafting skills learned, so there's not the crafting tab is not going to be shown. What I do have is the combat tab, and this is going to show like combat spells and perks eventually. Right now it just shows skill book, but I could adjust that pretty quickly. So I adjusted it so it shows the specific skills that have been learned in the spells list and only shows the specific subtabs. So for example, there's no lightning skills, so the lightning skills aren't going to show. But if I go over to the shop, learn electric pulse with this tome of lightning, check your skill book, then you open up the skill book, go to the spell book, and then the lightning is shown with electric pulse. So pretty happy with that. I also added a bunch of colors. Let's see if I could show how I did this. Color by enum. I don't know if this is the right way to do it, but this is what I did. I made it enum, and I pasted all the RGB values based on an enum, so I could easily just set whatever color I want based on the background that I need of whatever skill group there is. So for example, lightning is going to be yellow, fire red, water blue, and so on and so forth. I also added, this is the main thing I added, that depending on the skill, whether it's a passive skill, it's going to show passive, you can't do anything. Or if it's an action bar skill, you can click action bar. And if it's already in the action bar, it's going to show fireball already at action bar. You can see it's on the 1 slot. But if it's not, let's say electric pulse, it's going to be added right there to the 7th slot. So now when you go over to use your skills, so I equip fireball and let's say ice orb, because you could dual wield if it's one-handed spells. I will have more powerful two-handed spells, but right now I just did one-handed. And let's say I equip lightning, it unequips the water and it adds the lightning. I also, after I finished that, I made some prefabs to try to make a, I was looking up like, fantasy, medieval type theme houses and how they do it with separate prefabs. So each wall here is a separate prefab and you can make your own house pretty much. So what I did was went into Blender and I made a bunch of pieces. I mapped them to like the values or to the textures, and I made walls, I made frames, a chimney I just made, and then I added them as separate objects to the game here. And if I go to, let's say I'm just trying to make an inn right now. Each one of these is a separate thing. So for example, all these walls on floor 1, they're all just separate ones. So if I take it out here, that's just a frame. And then I made it with a window, which has a window pane, an arched window pane is the model here, window pane arched. And then the mat or material I use is glass. So it's kind of transparent and specular transparent alpha, and the alpha is about like, I'd say 40-50%. So that's completely 0 alpha, and this is like 30-40%. This is full alpha, but it looks better when you can see through it, obviously, if it's glass. So yeah, so that's just something I worked on, and pretty happy with the progress so far. Next week I want to, being that I could equip the spells now, there needs to be a way to actually like target an enemy, and I have to figure out the targeting system of like what I want to be able to be targeted. So like NPCs, destructibles, and different things like that. Like whatever you can cast a spell on, I think it should be in the targeting system. Right now I have the system that shows like the soil, so you could till the soil and things like that. But I wanted something for like combat that would work with melee and ranged that can use the targeting system. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching, and let me know again if you have any suggestions or comments. And I have a little smoke effect up there too in the comments below or in the Discord. Thanks for watching.